Today on the Commanders Report, I am talking about the 5 most intriguing position battles for the Washington Commanders during training camp this year. Very contentious. Definitely lots of very interesting stuff here that we're going to be unfolding here during Commanders training camp. Now, if you guys want general NFL content from me on IG, I'm currently trying to build my Instagram, guys. If you want more daily NFL content from me on social media, you can find me at sparedog.football. I try to get at least 2 or 3 reels up there every single week. I try to get a couple carousels on there every week as well, trying to give you guys insightful daily NFL content. So if you want more content from me, you can go to Instagram at sparedog.football. And today's promotion, everybody that goes and follows me this weekend at sparedog.football on Instagram is going to get a shout out on Monday's version of the Commanders Report. So if you want a shout out on Monday's show, make sure you go to IG and give me a follow. Okay, so let's start with the one that is going to have the biggest microscope here, which is starting quarterback. Now, I think most of us know how this is going to end up, right? I think we all know that Jayden Daniels is probably going to win this competition for the starting quarterback position for week 1. And for me, it's a question of when, not if. Are they going to give Jayden that job before the first preseason game? Will he have to prove it in the preseason to kind of really solidify himself? I would expect Mariota to probably be the starter for game 1. They'll probably move Daniels in. He'll play quite a bit in that first game. And then I think Daniels will probably get the start in week 2. If he plays well in those first 2 games, I think they will officially give him the starting nod for week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, predict it for me down there in the comments section. Jayden Daniels, when will he be named the starter? Will he be named the starter before or after week 1 of the NFL preseason? Type B if you think it's before, or type A if you think after. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. Now we get to the second position battle that I have my eye on, which of course is starting left tackle. And you guys know, if you've been watching the show, that I'm not a big believer in either of the left tackle options here in Washington. Cornelius Lucas has been kind of a career swing tackle. You know, he's been fine, as a backup, but can he really step up and protect your franchise quarterback on the left side? We're going to find out. Then Brandon Coleman out of TCU, the 3rd-round rookie, I thought had a really bad Senior Bowl week. I thought he had a really bad final season there at TCU, gave up a lot of sacks, only had like a 55.5 Pro Football Focus grade in the Big 12 last year. That's not a good number at all. Just imagine how low that could be in his rookie season. My pick is Cornelius because I think that, he's more established. I think Brandon is going to have a tough time keeping up with these NFL edge rushers in training camp. And, even though he's got the long arms and he's got the size and he's got the athleticism, I think it's going to take a while for Brandon Coleman to develop, so give me Cornelius Lucas to start week 1. Then another one that I'm really excited about is 5 technique, which is kind of that 3-4 defensive end spot, which is technically still an interior player, but it's technically a defensive end. And it could be either Cleveland Ferrell, who's kind of a bigger edge rusher. He can play 5 technique. Or it could be Johnny Newton, who's an undersized interior defensive tackle, or at least he was there at Illinois. And I really do think that this could be very interesting, especially if Johnny Newton comes out and starts balling out. If he plays really well during the preseason and during training camp, my pick to be the starting 5 technique is Johnny Newton. They drafted him that early for a reason. This coaching staff and this front office love the talent that Newton brings to the table. And when you got Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and Johnny Newton on the field all at the same time up the middle, it's going to be really hard for opposing offensive lines to deal with that. And now, before we get to the rest of today's list, make sure you guys have clicked that subscribe button. If you're enjoying our content, if you're enjoying our video to this point, we put out these kinds of videos every single day here on the channel. Also, breaking news coverage. So if they trade for like a Brandon Ayuk before the start of the season, we're going to be going live for you guys, getting you guys videos on that, breaking news coverage, and then weekly live shows on Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's all 100% free, so join the over 17,000 Commanders fans already subscribed by joining the Commanders Report family today. Another position that I'm looking out for here, cornerback number 2. I think we all know that Emmanuel Forbes is probably going to be entrusted to be this team's number 1 cornerback heading into year 2. And, I'm definitely wary about that, but he was a first-round pick last year. You got to put him in the starting lineup. The question's going to be, who's going to be the guy opposite him? Is it going to be Michael Davis, who this team brought in free agency, or could Benjamin St-Juste retain his spot in this starting rotation in the secondary? That's going to be a battle I'm keeping my eye on throughout the preseason here, because I think we know Forbes is going to be a week 1 starter. Big question is, who's going to be opposite him? Okay, now, my pick is going to be Michael Davis, because, they brought him in free agency. They clearly like him. They clearly feel like he's a fit for this system. Benjamin St-Juste, he's not very fast, right? He can't keep up with these faster receivers. He's got long arms. He's physical. He's a pretty darn good run defender as well, can blow up screens, but Michael Davis might be a bit better in coverage, which is why I think he gets the starting nod week 1. Now, before I reveal my final position battle that I'm looking out for here, make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you are pumped for Commanders training camp like I am. I can't wait to get things started, man. If you're right there with me, make sure you click that thumbs up icon right now. Now, the final position battle here, and this one might be the most interesting here out of these ones, and it's wide receiver number 3, because I think we know at this point, given they don't trade for Brandon Ayuk, it's going to be Terry McLaurin at the 1, Jahan Dotson at the 2, but there's a couple of receivers here that could compete for that number 3 receiver spot. Now, you could maybe argue that this isn't as important as other positions here, because it's not as do or die. Cliff Kingsbury's going to put 4 receivers on the field a lot this year, so De'Ami Brown is the favorite, in my opinion, heading into camp. Olamide Zaccheaus is going to be going out there, and he's had some nice production in the league throughout this point. And then Luke McCaffrey, he's big, he's strong, and he's talented. So it's going to be interesting to see if that 3rd-round pick, Luke McCaffrey, can come out and have a good camp. If he does so, he could get on the field pretty early on in his NFL career. Now, make sure you guys type Real One down there in the chat. It is our Real One roll call, and I want to see all the real ones down there in the chat room right now. Type in Real One for me in all caps, man. These are the people that really stick it out with us, guys, and I really do appreciate everybody that makes it to the end of every show. So if you're a Real One, you made it to the end, it helps out the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you go down in the comment section and type Real One. Again, you can follow me on Instagram at sparedog.football. Everybody that follows me there is going to get a shout out on Monday's edition of the Commanders Report. So if you want more NFL content, make sure you guys go follow me at sparedog.football. I put a bunch of stuff on there, guys. I put a bunch of reels on there. I put up one on Russell Wilson just a couple days ago. We have one on Derek Carr. We have one on Trevor Lawrence. I try to be as insightful as possible and giving you guys insightful daily and free content on Instagram. So make sure you go to @sparedog.football to check me out. And don't forget to click that subscribe button to join our family here at the Commanders Report.